Presently is year 2024, and I'm taking you back on one of my experiences to the year about 1991, close to 92, around that time. By that time, I had been, I was an elected official, and by that time, I had some experience as a law enforcement officer. I had acquired training certificates and advanced ones and all kinds of certificates from the state. And of course, I've gathered a lot of experience. So it was a time that we were told that there was going to be a training. There was a training session for law enforcement only. And the trainer was going to be Texas Ranger Joaquin Jackson. And if you have seen some of my previous experiences through this means of video, I've had some experiences with Texas Ranger or Texas Rangers, some not too good, but overall, we did good work together. Anyway, I was going to be part of this training, and this training was held at the Hacienda Hotel. They had a conference room there and a restaurant. And when I got there, early one morning, the ranger wasn't there. The ranger was Joaquin Jackson out of Uvalde. And Joaquin had known of me, and he knew that I had been a member and founder of La Raza Unida Party, which he didn't think too much of. And he really thought that it was criminal to have a political party like that. So I think he looked at us as just common criminals, and which was totally wrong. But anyway, I was there at the restaurant, and law enforcement people started together, and we're having coffee and a taco, and I knew most the officers that were there. We done a lot of work together. What I didn't realize was that Texas Ranger Joaquin Jackson did not know that I was a constable. And we had our coffee, and then Joaquin Jackson walks in, and he sits along with the group there, and he's having his coffee. And after a while, he said, "All right, we are now about to start this training. So all law enforcement people that are here for the training, please join us in the conference room." Now, you have to know that when I was there, I was addressed as a peace officer, just a regular shirt and blue jeans, and a lot of them were, they weren't dressed as police officers because they were not on duty. So we all kind of walked back into through the hall and back to the conference room. And I made it a point to sit right in front. And there was about, I don't know, 30 of us or more. It was full. So he got up at the podium, and he said, I have an announcement to make before we start this training. This training is strictly for law enforcement officers. So, and he looked right at me. He says, anyone that is not into law enforcement, please leave the room. So, okay. And he stood there for a second. He says, okay, I'm going to repeat myself. And I don't like to repeat myself. That anybody that's not into law enforcement, please leave the room. Now, here's a little more serious. So people started looking around. And I started looking around myself, who is this guy? And he's looking right at me. His arms straight up in front and on the desk and looking straight at me. And I'm sitting right here in front. And people are looking around, and I'm looking around. Let's see who's not into law enforcement. And then he bows his head. He says, listen, I'm not going to put up with this. I said, if there's no law enforcement officers in this room, leave the room, and somebody is not paying close attention to to my directive. So I'm saying it for one last time. If you, now he points at me, if you are not into law enforcement, leave the room now. And people look around, and I looked around. I don't know, who is it? He said, you know what? Okay, that's it. I'm not going to continue. I'm leaving. I'm not going to do this. I can't do this. And he walked out. And everybody says, well, what's going on? I mean, what happened? And I say, I think that was me. He says, what do you mean? Well, he knew me when I was a gangster, a criminal back in La Raza Unida days. And he still thinks I'm back there. He doesn't know I'm a counsel. Oh, he doesn't? Well, somebody tell him and bring him back. I said, no, don't bring it back. Let him go. So everybody had a good laugh. And that was a nice experience with my good friend, the Texas Ranger, Joaquin Jackson.